My name is Cassy Summers. Welcome to the Curious Universe podcast. Support you. Support is the topic for today, my friend. I'm wondering if you are like me in the sense that maybe you have often had periods of your life where you felt completely unsupported, like there was no support, or perhaps you were one of those people that just like were supported through your whole life from your family, your friends, your community. You're lucky. You are lucky. I would like to talk about support in all these different areas of our life and maybe play with the possibility of increasing the support that we have in our lives, whether you came from that family where you have so much support or you came from a life where you felt kind of maybe on your own, or maybe you even decided, maybe you had supportive people, but you decided you had to like do it all on your own, and that's the only way it had value. That's the only way that you could claim it was from you or that you achieved it. I see this actually quite a bit in some of the business groups that I facilitate. This sense of like, um, I'm the only one that can do it, or I have to do it alone, or they have staff that aren't supportive. Oh my gosh, that brought up a lot of energy. We're going to use the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. So, if you're new to the show and you don't know what Access Consciousness is, I highly recommend you check it out. It is a set of tools and techniques that change everything with ease, and that's what I always use on the show. So you can go to the accessconsciousness.com, and one of those magical tools is the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. So, this clearing statement is a set of words that we use. Oh, I have to fix my hair. That does exactly what it sounds like. It clears energy. It's a statement that clears things. I'm still a little sick. And so that clearing statement is right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100 shorts, posts, bubbles, creations, spaces, and beyonds. If you want more information, please go to theclearingstatement.com. There's a brand new video out with the co-founder of Access Consciousness and his beautiful co-creator, Simone Milasas, co-creator in the business. I'm not saying they're in a relationship, okay? Just kind of describing what the clearing statement is, but for this show, we're just going to use it, okay? I don't want to keep talking about it. I want to just get digging into the good stuff. So, support. What have you decided in your life is not supportive? So have you decided, like, oh my God, my mom never supports me, or my sister never supports me, my brother never supports me, my kids never support me, my partner never supports me. Maybe it's even bigger. Maybe it's like the universe doesn't support me. My business doesn't support me. My job doesn't support me. What have you decided doesn't support you that actually would like to, that actually would, if you were willing to receive the support? Let that awareness come through. Like, just be with that for a minute. What if you decided your government won't support you? Then guess what? The thing is that we're so incredibly powerful, and I'm actually learning this. Learning isn't quite the right word. I'm becoming aware of this on like an even bigger scale than ever before, how truly powerful our choices and our point of view is. So when we have a point of view, we literally create it as reality. Like literally, not figuratively, but we will actualize that as our reality. So if, from your point of view, if the government never supports you, it can't. It has to fight you to support you. Wow. Okay. Now let's take that like something with like a partner. Maybe you have a partner and you're like, they're never supportive. There is a difference between acknowledging what is, okay? So acknowledging where they function from, acknowledging their choices, acknowledging uh what like the past that you have with them. Acknowledgement is different than this is how it is, like that you've concluded something or you're projecting into the future. So if I were to acknowledge, oh, I have a tree out my window, I'm not projecting that that tree will be there forever because who knows? Someone could cut it down, the tree could die, it could rot, wind could blow it over. But right now there's a tree and that's it. There's no solidification. It's just an acknowledgement. So if you were to take that now, like with, say, support, so say maybe you're like a dreamer and you have great, grand, and glorious ideas and you get so excited, enthusiastic, you want to share them with your partner, and your partner either always like brings you back to reality or they're just like, we're not doing that, or some kind of like anti-support. Okay. So if you've concluded that every time you do this, this is what happens, that's not going tree. That's going, there's a tree that will always be there, right? So acknowledging would be first, I would always ask the question, what will it create if I share this with this person? What will it create? If it's heavy, then that's what it's going to create. It's going to create heaviness in your life. If it's light and expansive and joyful, then it's going to create that in your life. Whew. Yeah. So if you think about going to share like this new crazy idea with that partner, this is just an example, and you get that heaviness, then your awareness is today will be a tree. In this moment, this will be a tree. But if you get a sense of lightness, then perhaps, and not, we're not, it's not certain, but perhaps they will be supported this time, or you're going to get some sort of awareness. You're going to receive something that will create that lightness. Cool. So I wanted to clarify those things because so often we function from conclusion and decisions that we have about stuff. For example, support. So you might have like you might have had a family that never supported you ever. That doesn't, and if you're willing to like not conclude that that means they will never, just that they have never, there can be that rare moment where very unexpectedly they support you. It's incredible. It's like I've had it show up even with my ex-husband who's I don't even want to go into it. And randomly he will like support something. And I'm always shocked. I'm like, did that just happen? Okay, cool. I'm gonna receive that. That's cool. That's cool. Um, but if I wasn't open to receiving support from everyone and everything, then could that even come through? And if I conclude that that support only comes from these different areas, then can they come through the areas I've decided that they can't? Well, no, not unless it can fight me and overcome me, and I'm pretty tough, so it's pretty hard for the support to squeeze through my walls of resistance. And that's what they are. That's what your decisions are, your limitations. They're your walls of resistance. So everywhere you're resisting support from that which you've decided cannot, should not, will not, and will never support you, will you destroy and uncreate all that? Here's the clearing statement. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and bad, all 100 shorts, boys, bubbles, creation, species, and beyond. Whew. Yeah, I need a sip of tea on that one. All right, so let's look at money. And this is actually part of what sparked this. This is from the founder of Access Consciousness, Gary Douglas. Whoa, nope, No, my phone just tried to delete the whole thing. Bad. Don't worry, I got it because the universe supports me. So this was about money. Sorry. I just really wanted to make this podcast, even though I haven't slept in a week. You might see from the bags under my eyes, and I'm still coughing. I'm not perfect, but I'm here showing up for you guys because I think this is a really beautiful conversation to have. And I would just so love, I would love to gift people the possibility of support that I wish I had my whole life, and I never did until recently. Okay, so here, this is what really sparked this. I want to read this to you. This is Gary Douglas, okay? Money is what supports our choices, supports our creations. Money was designed to make our lives easier. It is a supportive energy. Whenever we require and desire it, it supports us. And it is way more fun to support someone who's enthusiastic, who's motivated, who is going out to conquer the world. Yes. So, in like embracing this, we're here. We got this. Me and my body, we got this. And you got this. Looking at this thing, have you ever considered money to be supported? Or were you always looking at like what do I have to do to get money? What do I have to be to get money? This is all on me. You're like trying to get the money to support the everything. That is really, I think, where I have functioned from because growing up, I was always the support. I was a support for my parents. I was a support for my siblings. I was the friend, the supportive. I would have like sessions with them. Aw. I actually loved this one friend of mine. She had her bedroom was in the basement, like what beautiful daylight basement suite. And so she had her bedroom here, and then she had this area where it was designed kind of like a rec room, and all these couches, there's no TV. It was just kind of like, and she goes, yeah, and this is like where I thought you could sit. And I was like, what do you mean? Like it was just a chair. She goes, yeah, when you do your check-ins. And it was like, oh my God, you noticed that? She goes, yeah, you always pull people aside because we had a group of like five besties, and sometimes other people would float in and out. And you're always just checking in on them and like seeing how you can support them. I was like so touched because I didn't know anyone had really noticed that I was doing that. And she was really acknowledging it and supporting it. Hi. Um, because I've always desired to support people. And this is part of what I do in life, right? Like my career is to support people, support their businesses, support their creations, support their lives. I love being that support. And so when I would look at like say money, for example, maybe I want to go to a class, take a trip. My kid required a new computer for Christmas. So I look at it, I have to be the support for that. And then how do I find the tools that so I'm supporting? It always was like that, like it always had to come from me. And even money, right? And reading this beautiful thing from Gary really sparked me looking at how often do I ask money just to come support me? Like, money is an energy, it has a consciousness. There's consciousness in everything, right? So you can communicate with the consciousness of money. Money, will you support me? What would I like money to support? Like what creations do I have going on or what dreams, what asks, what requests? What do you have? Have you ever been willing to ask money to support you? And not from that, like, God damn it, money. Just why won't you show up? Frustration. That's not asking for support. Like, that's that's judging, that's slamming doors, that's like using force, right? Really being willing to ask for support, like really being willing to open up and receive it. Would you like, who could you ask, who or what could you ask support from that if you did would change your whole reality? Yeah. So maybe that is from money. Maybe it's from your business. I know a lot of people who they run ragged for their business. I have had moments like that myself for sure. But I always ask my business to support me, to support the creations. My business is its own consciousness. It has its own life force now, which is incredible to get from that place of like just an idea, just a possibility, and then you nurture it and you feed it, and then one day it's your little egg hatches and out comes a dragon. And it has its own wings and it has its own awareness and it can support you. It can communicate with you. It can show you what's required. My business is such a supportive energy. It's like having a really dear friend in my life. That's the communion I have with my business. I'm so grateful for it. And when things are wonky, I can say like, hey, like can you contribute to money showing up? Like, can you contribute to this? Can you go get more participants for this class? What are you aware of with this? I can really do those business energetics, that business communication, right? Because I'm willing to have my business support me now. Whereas I always thought I had to support my business. Same with my kids. Like I don't put my stuff on my kids. They're kids. I want them to be kids. And I've always said that. I want my kids to be kids to as long as I want to. I felt like I grew up really, really fast and I've always wanted my kids to have the option to just be kids. So I don't put anything on them as that they need to support me or, I'm the single mom, you need to step in or what, none of that. But I'm always willing to receive their supportive energy with something. So, for example, I was talking to my kids about really desiring to do more live classes. I miss in person. I want to be in the room with people and engage with them that way. And asked them, like, is that something that you'd be willing to support? And they were so enthusiastic about it and so like happy to be asked. And it just fed that enthusiasm. It expanded that ask of mine and that possibility, their supportive energy. And how will that show up when I have a live class? They're going to be that supportive energy even more because I've requested it, because I've involved them, because I've asked them and they're willing. So where are these places where you decided you always had to be the support, whether it's like to be the good parent or to be the good business owner or to be the good employee? Maybe your job is literally to support your like if you're a what's that word? Assistant or something. Like you're there to assist, you're there to support. And yes, you are. And are you willing to receive support as well? Like what support are they offering you? Mentorship, learning possibilities, like expansion of energy. Have you been willing to receive that? Or do you have this mindset, this decision that you're the support, you're the support, you're the support? What are you trying to prove by being the support? Woo! I'll take a sip for this. This is a good one. What are you trying to prove by always being the support and never the supported? Everything that is times a good selling. Will you destroy it and create it, please? Right, wrong, good, or bad, talk about all 100 shorts, boys, poets, creations, spaces, and beyonds. This is such a meandering podcast episode today. I'm really enjoying it. Thanks for being here. Um, support. So what would your life be like if you opened up to infinite support from infinite places and spaces? What would your life be like if you were willing to really ask for the support and receive it? Ask money to support you. Ask money to make your life easier. Would you ask the earth to support you? Ask the earth to make your life easier. I ask my clothes, my jewelry, I'm always like, will you support me? First, I ask it, will you make me money? Before I get this is my new thing. Before you get anything, even actually when someone gifts me something, I'll still receive it, but then I'll ask it, will you make me money? And if I get a no, then I do two things. So if I get no, I won't make you money. Then I'll ask, does something need to change? Could I change something that would allow you to make me money? Sometimes I get a yes, sometimes I get a no. So it could be, for example, the price of the item is too high. And then it's like, no, I won't make you money, but if the price is lowered, I'll make you money kind of thing. It's an energetic match. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to sell it. Like I asked my chapstick, which I'm obviously not going to sell my chapstick when I'm done with it. If I buy you, will you make me money? Everything starts to become, when you do that, it starts to become a contribution in your life to making more money. And that can seem like very woo-woo, conceptual. Does it even make sense? But it's so true. So now let's even change it. So like if I buy you, will you make me money? And then you could also ask, will you support me in my body? I get a very loud yes, and I already bought it, so it's already mine. But what could you ask that of? And so say someone gives you a gift, and I'm always like so grateful for gifts. I love gifts so much. Gifts just like make me so happy. And I will receive it and be so grateful for it. And then before I you know, like integrate it into my home, I'll ask it like, will you make me money? And yes or no. If yes, okay, great, awesome. Where do you want to live? Let's do it. If I get no, I already said this, but I'm gonna reiterate it. Can I change something? Does something need to change for you to make me money? If I get a no, then I pass it on because it's gonna make someone else money. I'm not willing to have things in my life anymore that are not going to be supportive, and part of supporting me is making money. That's my reality. So anything in my life that I'm inviting to be a supportive energy brings money into my life. So that's people, places, things, all things. Yeah. What is that for you? Cool. You might have just had some awarenesses come in that you didn't even realize. Awesome. How does it get any better than that? Or maybe you felt like a blank nothing, and that doesn't mean you didn't get it. It just means that that's how it's showing up right now. So, what could you ask who or what could you ask to support you that you never considered possible, that if you were willing to ask and receive it would change your reality and theirs? Yes. As the support person, I have to say it is lovely to support. It can change my reality. When someone asks me, especially someone that maybe um they're when I ask someone to support me, there's an acknowledgement piece there. I'm acknowledging a capacity that they have, whew, contribution that they can be. So if I were to say, hey, could you support me? I'm really actually acknowledging something pretty spectacular about you. And so there are certain people that when they ask me to support them, it's like this wow acknowledgement of my being and what I can be for them. And I'm so grateful that they were willing to ask and that they were willing to receive that support. And I can't wait to show up for them. What if you're willing to be that for other people too? And again, I want to ask you, like, what are you proving by being the support person? If you're one of those people, what are you proving about always being the support person and never the supported. If you look at these proving pieces, you start to uncover different parts of yourself. So if you get, wow, I'm proving my value. So you may have decided that your only value is when you're supporting others. If you're willing to destroy and create that, your value doesn't disappear, but you can start to see where you have much more value than just that one thing. And it's not locked into this one place because if that's your value, then to receive support would mean that you would have to lose your value. So, can money come to you then? If money is a supportive energy, how much money are you allowed to have if you're always the support person? How much ease are you allowed to have if you're always the support person? And what else have you decided around that? Everything that is will you destroy and create it, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, Pokemon, all 100 shorts, boys, poets, creations, bases, and beyonds. Yeah. Body, will you support me? I ask my body all the time. But I also ask body, how can I support you? How can I support you, body? How can I support you, consciousness? Because what if it was actually truly that contribution where we're supporting it all and receiving support from all? That seemed like a lot more fun than having to be the support person for the universe, for the world. So one of my targets is to exponentialize, to stretch my receiving of support beyond anything I'm comfortable with. I never imagined possible. You can ask for that too. Anything that does not allow that, let's just try and create it. Times a godzillion, right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pod, all 100 shorts, boys, poems, creations, bases, and beyonds. Yeah. So, money, will you support me? Will you support this creation? Will you support whatever you're asking for? Will you support me having dinner tonight? I don't know. A new car, a new house, a trip. What else would like to support you? Oh, there's a lot. I can't even go into all the things. Teammates, beings of light. Like, if you want more information on that, check some of my other episodes. But, um, and what if you were truly willing to receive support from the unsupportive? Not that we're putting expectations on that or that you need to put all this energy onto it, but where you're just willing to have it show up. You're just willing to allow the unsupportive people to come in and support you. And what if it doesn't mean all the things that you decided it meant? Like that whole, I'm proving that they're an asshole. Oh my God, I guess this means they're not an asshole. No, in less 10 seconds, they're not an asshole. And what will they be in the next 10 seconds? You'll have to discover it. You'll have to see what shows up. But that's where you function from no conclusion. That's where you function being aware of how powerful your point of view is. So if your point of view is that no one and nothing supports you, you'll create that as your reality. If you're willing to have no point of view about support, but a willingness to ask everything to support you and receive from anyone or anything that support, how much ease could you have? Yeah. Well, that seems like we did what we came here to do. The energy just kind of like went. So, how can I support you? How can this podcast support you? If if something pops up, please let me know. I would love to be that support. I really would. Um, I'd love this podcast to be a support for people. I'd love I would love to, have this available for people in those like, good times, and they just want to like amp it up in those bad times where they're like, I'm gonna give up, and they get the podcast. And it maybe changes something and maybe opens up something for them. I love being a support, and I love being supported. And I hope that this contributed to you looking at where more you could receive support. Oh, and if you want support in a business, then I'm going to invite you to something. I've been inviting so much to this because I'm very, very excited and enthusiastic about the possibility. But I have a 3-month program coming up called Business Energetics. And we go through business communication, we go through money, willingness to be successful, profitability, handling staff, creation, marketing, all the things. Everything that you're looking for, because it really gets created by the people and their questions and like what they're asking for. Um, this program might be the support that you've been looking for with your business. Like, what if you didn't have to do it all alone? And what if having support for your business didn't mean that you like were lazy? It didn't mean, well, it didn't mean anything. Any of the reasons. So here's the list of reasons. All the reasons that we have to do it on our own and all the proving behind it. And you should make that list. What am I proving by never having support in my business? What if all of those were lies? And what if being willing to have support in your business is just smart? It's just like, it's like, it's like, I'm not going to drive across Canada. I'm going to walk because I can do it on my own. That's how silly we are sometimes. The universe is like, well, but I prepared a private jet for you. And we're like, no, no, no. Take that luxurious private jet away. I can do this on my own. So if you're looking for support in your business, not just from me, but yes, from me, 1,000%. But also, we just had this beautiful group of entrepreneurs and people that don't think they're entrepreneurs and people that are like, I don't even know why I'm here, but it's just so light and fun. We have this really fun group of people, and we're going to embark on this February 1st. Business energetics, exploration. Let's go. 2025 is your year. Your year. For business or otherwise, and maybe it's a year to receive support in a truly different way. So you're invited. There'll be links somewhere about it. But also, what support could you receive today from anyone? Maybe a stranger, maybe the universe, maybe your cat or your dog, something unexpected, and open the door. You might find it's more beautiful than you ever imagined possible. So thank you for joining me on the Curious Universe podcast, where we destroy the structures of reality so that you can create your own reality, maybe a more supportive reality for you from now on. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Thank you for exploring the Curious Universe with me. Your curiosity matters. And what if together we could create a greater, more curious world?